Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Joy Newsroom with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Coming up in our headlines, at least 5 more senior high school heads interdicted by Ghana Education Service for charging SHS freshers unapproved fees. And as investigations get underway, we will hear from the Ghana Education Service on that. Vice President of Imani Africa challenges Lands and Natural Resources Minister to substantiate with evidence his claim that the 10% lithium deal is the best ever globally. UN Resident Coordinator in Ghana condemns the high rate of corruption in the country and called for action against it. We have details of these and many others coming your way all in the next 1 hour. Please stay. Thanks so much for your company. Let's now settle for the details. At least 5 more heads of senior high schools have been asked to step aside from their roles following the Ghana Education Service says it's a breach of their code of conduct. It brings to 7 the known number of heads teachers interdicted for charging SHS1 students unapproved fees in the process of this year's admissions. Let's share excerpts of the letters to the heads of the various schools to you, and pretty soon it will come on your screens to have you read what the Ghana Education Service had to say. Well, it reads, it has come to the notice of the management of the Ghana Education Service that you are charging the following unauthorized fees from the Form 1 students reporting to school. So it lists out the fees these heads are charging: entrance fee 40 cedis, PTA fee 300 cedis, petrol 20 cedis, boiler fee 20 cedis, motivation fee 50 cedis, lunch bag 50 cedis, school jacket 200 cedis, house dues 50 cedis, registration fees 80 cedis, SRC dues 50 cedis. You are therefore requested to step aside as a headmaster with effect from 7th December 2023 for further investigation to be conducted into the matter. It concludes by saying, kindly hand over to the Brekum Municipal Director of Education. In the interim, we will take oversight responsibility of the school for the period of your absence. And of course, this is signed by the Regional Director of the Bono Region, Gabriel Enchi. Head of Public Relations at the Ghana Education Service, Cassandra Chum Ampofo, has been explaining the reasons behind the action.
As to rightfully indicated, had certain items are not allowed, and then they selling on their school campus. In the case of Ghana Senior High School headmistress, she asked the students to go to school or to report in their office, that's their home attack. And when you get to school, you are asked to change over, buy a ceremonial cloth. They claim it's a ceremonial cloth, and then trust it. And then if you do not buy, it means that you are forced to go back home. And that's of O'Reilly headmistress had also set up the table charging 350, according to them, as PA charges or PA dues, and then you pay, they give you receipt before you can proceed. And so these are all items or things that for us we had not approved. It wasn't part of the admission process for first years. And so we have asked them to step aside so we can really delve deeper in our investigations, and then we can continue. So Ghana, they were paying or buying ceremonial cloth 200 cedis, track to 250. And so once you get on campus, you need to buy these items. And then already you need to pay 350. So this is the first or the initial investigation that we have established. And then we need to delve deeper. Reason why we've asked them to step aside so we can have that launch that skill investigation into why they have to sell these items and why they have to also let the Form 1 pay before they can continue the admission process. Without these processes or without paying or buying these items, it means that you cannot complete the admission process. and some are typical.
And to some other stories. After months of waiting, the consideration stage of the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill has started. This is despite the absence of the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, Kwabena Yemedu Enchi, a similar situation earlier this week which grounded work on the bill. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kukwa Sante reports.
After so many months of waiting, the proper family value bill has finally had its time on the floor. The Speaker of Parliament ruled that despite the chairman being absent, members could move the amendments that were tabled in his name on behalf of his committee.
The understanding is that in the absence of the chairman, any member of the committee could take up if the chairman is available, he will lead us. In the absence of the chairman, any member could take up the matter.
Following this ruling, members on both sides came around the table and discussed some amendments that have been proposed.
Amendment proposed. Paragraph A, subparagraph 6, delete. Mr. Speaker, the reason for the deletion is that queer is an umbrella term used for people who are not heterosexuals, who are not cisgender.
Put the question. All those in favor of the deletion say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
But not without some controversies. The majority chief whip came in and argued that some agreements with the minority leadership had been breached in terms of the order of business on the floor of the House.
My colleague, my respected colleague, Honorable Sam John, was here. We are engaged. Yeah, but I just want us to get one thing clear. When we spoke, when you came here, we spoke. We agreed on the chronology of the flow of activities or business. We said, we finished the question. When we finish the question, we have motions. We have 3 motions. And then we'll conclude with the consideration of the proper human rights bill. Because, Speaker, with respect, the majority leader had said that the special budgets and the Constitutional Legal Committee needed him to be there for some consideration. So I thought, because I'm very interested in this bill, we also want to be here. And the majority leader has said that he wants to sit in whilst we are doing the consideration.
The understanding we had between the majority and the minority and your good self was that after we are done with the questions, we will start the consideration of Ghanaian values and what's the full name of that bill? The Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Value Bill 2021. That was the understanding.
Well, the Speaker of Parliament overruled him and the business continued.
You simply guide me. I'm not a robot. It doesn't mean that when you guide me, I must, by order, go by your guidance.
At some point, they had to haggle over whether or not to delete the word proper from the rendition of the title of the bill.
I believe that whatever this House will pass will be considered as the objective test in Ghana. And so if we are dropping proper, whatever this House will pass is known as a proper law anyway. So if we drop proper, once it becomes an act of parliament, it is the proper law in Ghana. So we do not necessarily have to have it in defining human sexual rights.
So the word proper be consequentially deleted throughout the bill. So it doesn't say proper human sexual rights.
Because the Constitution does not mandate a private member's bill that impose a charge on the consolidated fund, majority leader. The consideration stage of the bill now underway. Very soon, we can expect that this bill will move to the 3rd reading stage and could be passed. And if all that we've seen today on the floor is anything to go by, it means the Speaker of Parliament's promise that this bill could be passed before the House went on Christmas break could actually be realized. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Minister for Local Government, Dan Boche, is rallying the public to participate massively in the upcoming district-level elections. The district-level election will elect more than 600,000 local-level leaders to the various district assemblies, but the election over the years has been plagued with poor participation. Dan Boche says MPs must get their constituents to participate, while urging the media to devote as much time to the election as they do for parliamentary and presidential elections.
I entreat my honourable members of parliament in this August House to whip up enthusiasm of the electorate to turn out on Tuesday, 19 December 2023, and vote massively for the representatives to their respective district assemblies and unit committees. Right Honourable Speaker, decentralization has brought government closer to the people than it has ever been in almost 3 decades. Although there is no government policy to systematically create smaller local government jurisdictions, with the creation of 261 district assemblies from 110 in 1988, the average population per a local government jurisdiction has reduced substantially, thereby enabling local government to reach a smaller population. This has also reduced the proximity of local governments to locations where problems occur and where appropriate solutions may be found. The critical role of the media in creating awareness of this level elections cannot be overemphasized. Accurate and timely reportage by the media on key issues which will shape local governance should whip up and sustain the level of public interest in the processes leading up to the conduct of this level elections. It is therefore envisaged that the time and energy devoted for presidential and parliamentary elections by our friends in the media fraternity is replicated in the upcoming district level elections. It is even my ardent hope that more platforms are created by relevant bodies with deep involvement of the media to intensify the awareness and advocacy for higher voter turnouts.
The ranking member on the local government committee says the absence of partisan politics is the cause of the apathy.
Speaker, it is true.
Speaking to the mic.
It is true that citizens' participation in the district level elections have been very poor. Going through history, hovers between the 35-38% as compared to the 70-75% witnessed under presidential and parliamentary elections. But this is because the state does not give that much attention to the district level elections. The sort of importance we attach to the presidential and parliamentary elections is far, far low when we consider the district level elections. We must consider the fact that in the parliamentary and presidential elections, the political parties play a key role as demanded of them by the Constitution. But because these have become individual activity, it becomes difficult for institutions, groups to really get themselves involved. However, we have state institutions that could play a very vital role in disseminating information, educating and informing the public on the district level elections. Our NCCE is mandated to educate, inform, encourage people to participate in such civic responsibilities. But we all know the situation of the NCCE. Today, the role of the Information Services Department, which historically has had mandates to educate and inform people, announce such situation, is virtually off. We can't even find them anymore.
A while longer in Parliament because the minority is happy with the government's decision to suspend the laying of the controversial import restriction bills before Parliament. In a press statement issued yesterday, December 8th, and signed by the leader, Dr. Kesola Tufosin, the minority condemned the government for listening and commended the government for listening, I should say. Now it reads, the minority caucus has noted with relief the announcement by the government to suspend the laying of the proposed regulations on restrictions of imports of selected strategic products 2023. The minority has always maintained that these regulations will breed corruption because not only are they arbitrary and opaque, but they are designed to encourage arbitrary exercise of discretionary power in the hands of one person, particularly the Minister of Trade and Industry. It goes on to say, we have argued that by vesting too much unfettered and unchecked power in the minister to determine who qualifies or not to be granted a permit to import into the country as many as 24 commodities, the regulations lend themselves to abuse of power, state capture, and rent-seeking conduct, reminiscent of the days of essential commodities and price control. Indeed, various stakeholders, including the Ghana Union of Traders Association, that's GUTA, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Chamber of Automobile Dealership Ghana, and the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry have all joined us in all kicking against these proposed import restrictions. The minority in principle is not against any legal regime or policy that seeks to protect indigenous businesses by regulating imports. What we are vehemently against is a law that confers unfettered discretionary power on a single individual, in this case a Minister of Trade, to issue import license and to restrict the quantity of certain imports into the country without any checks and balances. It identifies sound logic for this Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government to seek to restrict imports contrary to what it had signed onto with regard to Ghana's current IMF program. One of the quantitative performance criteria in Ghana's current IMF bailout is a requirement to avoid the imposition or intensification of restrictions on imports for balance of payment reasons. At a time, Ghanaians are facing extreme misery and reeling under countless taxes, including those contained in the 2024 budget, we do not consider it right that government would introduce import restrictions that will fuel inflation hoarding. We are happy that the government has justiced these regulations after stiff resistance and opposition in Parliament by the minority caucus. We wish to assure the Ghanaian people and the business community that the minority will always be on their side and put their interests first, Ghana first. Well, the chairman of the NDC, Johnson Isidu Nketia, on his part says the party is not against improving local production, but adds the restrictions on importation is not the way to go.
Not only how much of those particular goods that will come in, but we actually decide who will be given the license to import those goods. And it's a huge opportunity for rent seeking, for people making money without working. And the impact comes to bear on all of us.
The minister says that's not the notion at all.
No, that's why I'm saying his intentions may be good. But we have tried this thing before, and the results it has delivered force us to abandon that one. This is not the first time we are dealing with import licenses.
True.
We have dealt with them during the First Republic. I think there was somebody who was a minister, if I can recall it, called Amma or something, who was in charge of issuing import licenses.
Okay.
Then that became the means, huge means of corruption and rent seeking. So after the overthrow of the First Republic, there was a whole commission set up to investigate this thing. And the report, I still have a copy of the report. It was horrible.
Okay.
So In fact, I think it was under Justice, I don't remember, I don't want to get it wrong, either Olenu Commission. There were several commissions. The Munufie Commission was set up to look at how trade unions raise monies and spend them and all that. And then there was Olenu Commission, there was many other commissions. But one of such commissions focused on the import licensing regimes under the First Republic, and the report was horrible. Then, and it happens, it's preceded by a situation where you have some economic challenges. So the First Republic one happened at a time where we took over from the British, ran our own system, and tried to implement economic recovery program, import substitution and all that. And then it came to a point where the West saw that Nkrumah was confronting them in certain ways, and that Nkrumah was working against their interests in his effort to seek economic reliance.
Okay.
So it was, then shortages started. They started squeezing us, found ways of bringing down the price of our main export product, cocoa, and all that. So we started with import licensing. And then a minister was put in charge of that one. So practically, what happened is that the minister will issue the chit or a license to his favorites.
As those who
have the license to import something. They themselves may not be businessmen at all, but they are benefiting because of their closeness to power.
The power.
Let's now do politics. An aspiring parliamentary candidate of the opposition National Democratic Congress in the Ododo-Diodio constituency, Ni Okainlaye, is calling on members of the party to ensure there is calm ahead of their primaries. Speaking at a meeting to present a bus to some members of the constituency, the aspirant urged them to unite for victory in 2024. There is more in the following reports.
These members of the NDC in the Ododo-Diodio constituency of the Greater Accra region gathered to discuss, among other things, ways to ensure peace in the constituency ahead of the 2024 elections. The move, led by an aspirant, Ni Okainlaye, is to also position the various wards in the constituency in getting economic reliefs. He explains that this is to ensure that the MP is not overburdened with financial requests.
Know the challenges that come with the job, though MPs primarily are voted for to enact laws. By virtue of the fact that we mobilize people who support us, and by virtue of the fact that those people put in their efforts, sometimes their resources and their time. When they are having issues, for example, issues that relate to their inability for one reason or the other to maybe pay their ward school fees, you are the first point of call. And I want us to be able to develop a system within Ododo-Diodio where the MP will not be burdened with some of these things. And so the only way to go about this is to decentralize the welfare system. So each ward should be able to have an income-generating activity that they can fall on in times of maybe the need of a delegate or a branch executive. They will be able to fall on these funds that they are generating internally.
Donating some buses to special wards for commercial purposes to generate revenue to support members, Ni Okainlaye called for income-generating activities for the various wards.
And yes, the agenda is to be able to provide the Benz bus for each and every single ward. So by Monday, we usually refer to those here as the people who are down there. So we are down here, we'll be climbing up from next week. So by Monday, we'll present another one to Koledudo, and then we'll go to Ngleshi and the others. Every ward will have one Benz bus. So if you have a problem within your ward, somebody is hurt, somebody is in the hospital, you need to pay your hospital bills, you fall on your ward executives, not the MP. So that I'll be able to get the peace of mind to work for the general populace.
According to him, members in the constituency need to be supported rather than instigated to cause mayhem. He urged all members of the party to focus their strengths on the 2024 elections.
I am indifferent. There's an election ahead of us, and we are going for victory, and we are poised for victory. And that is the battle that lies ahead. Anything short of that, is noise to me.
Residents in the Oforikrom municipality of the Ashanti region have been demonstrating against bad roads over what they describe as bad leadership. They are particularly angry about the delay in the completion of a major road network, some of which have turned death traps. The protesting residents say access to health care, especially for pregnant women, is impeded by the poor nature of the roads.
Clad in red, residents of Emina, Apiedu, Kokobing and Apemso marched along their communities, making brief stops at some areas to highlight problems in the municipality. Bridges constructed over huge drains within the municipality have deteriorated by flood waters. Some lives have been lost. The concerned youth of Oforikrom constituency expressed worry about the risk associated with using the roads amidst economic challenges. Addressing the press, leader of the group, Jerry James Suka, said the community is lagging behind in terms of development.
The deteriorating state of this crucial road has become a pressing concern for the residents, impacting our daily lives, economic activities, and overall well-being. The road's current condition poses significant challenges, including but not limited to inconvenience and safety hazards. Choboy, Choboy. The poor road conditions create inconvenience for commuters and pose safety hazards for both motorists and pedestrians. Choboy. Economic implications. The road's deteriorated state hinders economic activities, affecting local businesses, transportation of goods, and overall development of the community.
Some concerned residents shared their frustration with JoyNews.
We all know that we are citizens here in Ghana, and as citizens in Ghana, we have our right to exercise our right. And we voted for Akufo-Addo Bawumia government to come and put things in place for us so that every Ghanaian or every citizen may have the feel of the country. But this is the case that we voted for Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government, and they are not doing anything for the citizens. And it is very pathetic. Or is it a crime for we the citizens to vote for a leader? No. So if it is not a crime, why are they refusing to do our road for us? Listen, there was a time a woman who was pregnant. He was passing by the Oforikrom road. You see the deplorable road. Because of the deplorable road, he gets miscarriage about his pregnancy, and it's very pathetic to see all these things. So we are begging the government of the day to come and fix our roads. And it should bear in mind that they have just 364 days. As at yesterday, they were having 365 days, but now they're having 364 days to leave office, and we are prompting them to do our roads for us. If they do or if they don't do, we are going to sack them from government coming 2024.
Na mafu bedi so yemu de oyeye na ye ka cha Akufo-Addo ne Bawumia ne se amambo no mu bunu ye hu so amambo no mu bunu wo Frasta House no ye hu so o mu tibi mu o mu so de frade so ye nkwala ne metra so ye kure ni mamambo sene no ade no mo haya kuma sa e na okoto ade untimi to bronya ye se akokọ baako 2 million 1.5 ade
e kwan ne nye na adwuma bia nsu ni o man mu obi ye so beto ka akwan kwan ni nti ho ba ya wasena beso ba ye beto ka na ma enu nya ne hawo na adwuma nsu ni o man mu na klesi ara o man so sa eboa ne mo fo ka se bla adwuma akrabi na e se ye so o ti Akufo-Addo so sa mu 10% utwa bet na so sa di Akufo-Addo sa 10% no sa 10% ka kwan ni na nya adwuma bia ye bet na etwa ni na for
JoyNews, Nana Boache Dankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
In more news this afternoon, the Electricity Company of Ghana has assured there will be no doomsday during the Christmas festivities. This is because government has begun paying debts owed the independent power producers, and there have been fears that the country could experience power outages during the Christmas if the government failed to settle debts owed IPPs and other players in the energy sector value chain. This week, Sanon Asogli threatened to shut down its plant, citing the delays in payment from the Electricity Company of Ghana for power supplied, as well as the unproductive engagements to find an amicable solution to the situation. But speaking to Joy News, the managing director of ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, says the situation is being reversed. He reveals that in addition to the payment of $30 million to Sanon Asogli, the cost of power is being renegotiated downwards. He spoke to my colleague James Aveji.
We had a very successful meeting and a very fruitful conversation with Sanon Asogli. Even through all of this, the good thing that has come out is that we are actually even going to renegotiate their PPA and come out with something that's going to be much more composite and much more cheaper for the good people of Ghana. Government has paid Sanon Asogli $30 million, and the arrangement is for advance for another 30 somewhere next week. We have a fruitful working relationship with them, and they are one of our development partners, and we look forward to expanding our growth with them.
On the renegotiation of the PPA, how much do you pay them now? How much do you look forward to negotiating it down to?
We currently are around between 13 and 11 cents, and we are trying to negotiate it downwards to about 9 cents.
I mean, the total that we are seeing is some $900 million. Earlier, we know that the ECG owes the independent power producers some $1.7 billion. Is it the figure that's been renegotiated down, or this is a new figure you are owing only to Sanon Asogli?
There's this wrong message out there which needs to be corrected.
Okay.
It said the energy sector debt is $1.7 billion in total. Government of Ghana owes, or ECG owes Sanon Asogli about $300 million.
Okay.
Between $200 to $300 million. When you add all IPP debts, it's supposed to be about 1.7.
Okay.
But after we looked at it closely and had a proper audit, we realized that there was some form of double counting and all of that in there. The total amount owed came down to almost about 1.1 or 1.2 billion. Government of Ghana has paid quite a substantial amount of it. So you can say in total the full debt is around about 900 million now. Government is still doing its best and is paying down the debt as we go through this. We've managed to speak to all the power plants to try and renegotiate their commercial terms, because the PPAs as is right now doesn't allow it to be sustainable. The truth of the matter is if ECG collected 100%, ECG will still not be able to pay the entire IPP debt because of the forex. Let's not forget that ECG buys the electricity in dollars and sells it in cedis. So there's always a forex loss with ECG's purchases of power. What we are trying to do is to make sure that the agreed cents per kilowatt hour is much more reasonable and is sustainable for ECG and for the good people of Ghana, so that we can always be able to pay as and when we receive, and whenever we can close the gap on the forex.
Just for clarity, how much does the ECG owe Sanon Asogli out of this $900 million? And is the $30 million payment you have done to only Sanon Asogli, or it is to all the IPPs?
All the IPPs are in different negotiation times in the structure. I know a few of them, or one or two of them, have been paid by government. At the right time, I don't want to mention anything now, because at the right time a statement will be put out to show everybody what has been done, what the audit pointed out, and what the details are, so that we can all move forward from what is happening now. But in truth, yes, some IPPs have been paid, so the debt has reduced.
Okay. Wanted to know the exact figure you owe Sanon Asogli.
I don't have it right in front of me. The figure should be between $250 to $300 million.
So apart from this $30 million you paid, I'm told somewhere Tuesday, when they declared that they were going to pull their plugs, is there the arrangement to make any further payment in recent time?
There's a plan to make some payments somewhere next week to them. Let's not forget, when we had the chance to have a chat with them, we needed to know exactly how much their lenders needed this year to make them sustainable, and they gave us a figure. So that's the figure we are trying to close immediately for them to put them in a comfortable state. Another thing, I would like to use this your medium to assure the customers of ECG and the good people of Ghana not to panic, because in as much as Asogli said they were going to withdraw services for 560 megawatts of power, at every material point, we do not use all that 560. ECG uses just half of that. And we have enough hydro that if they are to pull their services, it will not affect us during this festive season. When you talk about Asogli, you have Southern Asogli 1 and Southern Asogli 2. So we mostly use the Southern Asogli 2 because that's a new plant.
Okay. And so they have given you the assurance at that meeting that they have entirely backed down from the threat earlier?
Yes, as I said, we are actually looking forward now, and we are now at the table renegotiating one or two things to redo their PPAs to give it a better economic acceptance for the good people of Ghana.
But we are not too sure how much you'll be paying them next week.
We are supposed to give them another 30 next week.
The Omanhene of the Nkuranza Traditional Council, Nana Kwame Boafo IV, has admonished the 1984-year group of the Kumasi High School to take advantage of the vast agricultural lands in the area to invest in commercial agriculture as a means of helping develop the area. The traditional ruler was speaking when the group paid a courtesy call on him as part of a 3-day visit to the area. Said the Traditional Council is ready to help them in diverse ways to help the group realize their potentials. Anas Sabit reports.
Nearly 40 years after leaving senior high school, the 1984-year group of the Kumasi Senior High School are in Nkuranza on a 3-day retreat to share ideas on ways of identifying opportunities within the Nkuranza area. The group, as part of its list of activities, paid a courtesy call on the Omanhene of the Nkuranza traditional area, who used the opportunity to urge the group to make Nkuranza their second home. From today onwards, you are fully accepted members of Nkuranza, and you should note that this is your second home, and so we welcome you. And whoever needs a piece of land to build, we shall provide it to you and support you in any way we could. Nana Kwame Boafo IV admonished the group to take advantage of the vast agricultural lands in the area by investing in the agribusiness industry. Once you are here, you've become a family, and so we want you to know that there are several opportunities here. So we urge you to take advantage of it and venture into agriculture to help in the growth of the Nkuranza traditional area. Convener of the group, Benjamin Bedu Preku, whose sole efforts led to the get-together of the class, said the group is working towards initiating projects capable of impacting the Nkuranza community.
When it comes to corporate social responsibility, now that we are here and Nana has informed us that he has a whole lot of lands to deliver when it comes to investment, we are also going to sit back, strategize and see how best we could impact on Nkuranza mine. So it's part of our objective as a group, and definitely we'll do that.
Another integral member of the group and a native of Nkuranza, Nana Isaac Kodom, noted that the group is considering taking advantage of the available farming lands in the area to invest in the agri sector.
One of the reasons we also decided to meet here is also to acquaint ourselves with the environment, to see if there are any business opportunities that we can undertake in Nkuranza. And when we met Omanhene, he made us understand that he had vast land. And so if people were interested in venturing into agriculture, he will be prepared to help. And so members have decided that after today's meeting, they will want to further discuss the business opportunities for Omanhene and to see which ventures they can undertake, and if Nana will be magnanimous enough to offer them land, and they will be interested to take that opportunity.
He further disclosed that the group is also considering extending its social responsibilities to Nkuranza to help support the needy in the area.
Apart from what individually we want to do going forward, we also want to do something as a group to support Omanhene in any social sector that we want to help.
There were other activities including health walk, football games, various lectures by members of the group, including a lecture on the history of Nkranza by lawyer Anochi Frimpong. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Nkranza.
You're still watching Joy Newsroom with me, Pius Kojo Baka. We've got more stories for you after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
And that's how when they share comfort, not teaching hospital. The Unhunani Yakrakrani Bia, and so they drew their gensem. And what can he say? BCSI are Sabia. Man have fun into my pie for you. Man, I say, baby, assassin Paco Jaya. Yura, a Santangani, or 2 4 or 6 to 2 Abebu. And the Yana come as so dear. See a BCCG, I'm a chain canning impo.
And then it's a year was here to just say, so. And now, Uma Missidi Babu Magic, Uma Wonders is magic, and China, as our magic. So, yeah, dear boom, I answer the big. So, as my dad said, it's Mammy and Yam, yeah, Gagaban was sitting down with you. So,
and penning for the when you bore. Say ni huno ayaresabia ese efata ni dimu ankasa nanso yankote adrumra eno ane ahanhan ebehia wo a ansane ni swade hu we abem yikakra fama yikakra faboa ne yiya eyema yenyina boa na otumfo Hill Cath project enwie bayo obetumi afasa akwan mu biaso e de aboa.
Christmas is here again with us, and Volta Serene Hotel Ho offers you the very best, the most fun-filled and most relaxing Christmas ever. Job the Serene Christmas from 23rd of December 2023 through to the 1st of January 2024. Oh yes, if you want to celebrate Christmas in a luxurious 4-star hotel that you can actually call home in the most serene environment, then Volta Serene Hotel offers you just that. All reservations come with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A tour to the mountain Afaja and the Wuri waterfalls on 24th of December 2023. Our hiking, bonfire, nightclub, and musical entertainment sessions will leave you totally elated. We are poised to make your weekend a fun and a relaxing one. Hey Pumpkins, you are not left out, as our entertainment game house will be very, very active to host both young and old throughout the stay. Why don't you call us for enquiries and reservations? Make your Christmas a very serene one at the Volta Serene Hotel. Volta Serene Hotel. Feel the serene touch.
Afiaso!
Hooray! It's Christmas at the Evergreen Rattray Park with your superstation, Love 99.5 FM. Where are my bubbly little kids? It's the Love FM Xmas Kids Party! It's party and fun time for all the kids as we enjoy and make merry this Christmas. So parents, come with all the kids and let's have fun! Which school is good in these activities? Dancing, singing, choreography, picnic, horse race, lime and spoon. Register your school or Sunday school by calling 0245-594425. Says yeah. Santa Claus alongside Mickey Mouse will be there with loads of gifts. Remember, there will be bouncy castles, electric train, chuku-chaka, trampoline, horse race, a stationary aeroplane, TV games, and many more to play with. Face painting today, the corner there somewhere. Come, let's have absolute fun this Christmas at the Love FM Xmas Kids Party. Rate is 10 Ghana cedis.
Date, Saturday, 23rd of December 2023.
9 a.m. sharp. Xmas Kids Party. Bronya Baye de.
Hello, welcome back to JoyNews Room, and let's touch on some business story. There is a looming threat to Ghana's food and nutrition security attributable to the country's fast depleting soil health. Contemporary farming practices, including inorganic fertilizer application, tillage, and the pressing impacts of climate change continue to threaten biodiversity in soils, affecting soil fertility. This week on Food Chain, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku interacts with experts who are advocating the uptake of primitive agricultural practices that can boost agricultural production and restore the health of Ghana's soil.
Several research conducted by soil experts on the quality of Ghana's soil reveal nearly 40% of the country's soil is degrading. Owing to the higher demand of farm produce against the growing human population, application of inorganic fertilizer became the common practice for a bumper and quicker harvest. But experts say revolutionizing the sector through synthetic farming techniques has rather contributed to depleting soil fertility. Many farmers across the country are recording lower yields.
When you grow your crops, maybe at the time that it's supposed to rain, the rain needs to be a minimum. You get much rain.
Judith Daite is a maize, pepper, and okra farmer in the Volta region.
I used to plow half an acre or 1 acre. Then you get like the dry pepper. For the pepper, you get like the number 5 sack. You get like 6 or 8. But now, even if I plow 1.5 acre, I don't get to 5.
The consequential impact on profits made locally is pushing farmers to export their produce.
We don't sell here again because of the money, so we took it, we export it to Togo.
Reports suggest 2023 is on track to become the hottest year since global records began 2 centuries ago. Already, the impact of the changing temperature is negatively affecting the horticultural sector, especially in the northern parts of the country, which experience intense sunshine. Professor Harrison Dapa is a crop scientist.
Climate change is affecting most of our horticultural crops. In fact, recently, when we looked at the mango sector, for example, we've seen that there has been increase in the mango weevil and other pest disease on the mangoes, which has affected the export potential of the mangoes and others. Fields are actually flooded and others.
With dwindling farming production capacity threatening Ghana's food security, nutrition security is additionally becoming a major concern. Francis Apia is head of the horticulture department at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
When you are dealing with nutrition
security, it goes a little beyond food security. Food security is looking at the quantities you are taking, but nutrition security is looking broadly at intake of food for well-being. So you are not only filling your stomach, you are ensuring that your sanity is intact, your health is intact, and if we are not food secured, we are unlikely to be nutrition secured.
Experts in the horticulture sector are advocating the uptake of regenerative agriculture to mitigate climate change and restore healthy soils.
Now we should reduce the number of times that we plow. We don't need to till. We don't know tillage or reduce tillage. Then we also said we need to reduce the application of biochemical inputs, the fertilizers, and then the insecticides that we spray for the pesticide. And we can only do that if we have integrated farming systems or horticultural systems, or we rotate the horticultural crops with other field crops so that we can maintain the fertility and also break the pesticide cycles.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
And Full Chain is every Saturday at 6 p.m. on the Joy News channel, and of course a repeat on Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Now, Vice President of Imani Africa has challenged Lands and Natural Resources Minister to substantiate with evidence his claim that the 10% lithium deal is the best ever globally.
Minister, makes claims that are just not true, and with all due respect. He makes claims that this is the best deal ever, and he suggests that the fiscal terms are the most generous. And that is debatable in the sense that you think about the dynamics that are confronting us, the fiscal terms that have been presented in the agreement that we are all aware of. Yes, the 10% seems high because in recent times we've been signing agreements that some argue have shortchanged us, and the 13% free carry interest is interesting. But the truth of the matter is that you take the whole historic span of our mining industry in this country, those terms are not that generous, because we can say that in the 70s, Ghana automatically had a 55% participation rate. You couldn't do mining in Ghana unless the state owned 55%. So are we comparing our current fiscal deal, yield on lithium to that era, or we are having an arbitrary period of, say, from 1990 onwards, or what are we doing? So in short, there have been periods in our country when we had way more. Whether or not that was a good thing is another debate, because the argument was that by the end of the 1980s, we declined from 33 gold mines to about 4 gold mines, because some argued that the state was too dominant and private investment was not coming in, so private technology, private management capacity, etc., had been shut out. That is a separate argument. But to argue that this is the best in terms of the generosity of the terms is just not true, because we have a history in this country where in the 70s, the Champion government said 55% of all minerals belong to the state. How is your 13%, or even if you increase it to 19%, or even if you do go further to 29%, as the minister is saying might be the case, how does that compare?
And that's it for Business. Weekly Wrap is next.
Parents of first-year senior high school students told Joy News the pressure of getting their children ready due to the short notice was hectic.
I travelled from Tema. This has become a burden. They should consider reopening next month.
Others were not happy with the long queues they had to endure.
I came here on Thursday. I've been sitting here all morning, but we don't know what's happening.
More wanted to change the schools of their children due to proximity.
I'm in Kasua, but it's still at the school is in Dunkwan Ofin. It's far from my place as a pensioner. How can I take my child from Kasua far to Dunkwan Ofin? I can't go and visit him. So that is why I'm here.
Heads of schools were also tired.
We are paying more attention to students who have not gotten placement at all. But those who have gotten schools and they want to change, we will look at it, and then if the issue is very pertinent, that is where we will change it. But for
on Instacart, I can shop a huge selection of pet supplies, from that one brush that scratches him just right, to that extra comfy bed he can't wait to flop down in. And I get everything delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. Okay, settle down. I know it's here. Yes, very exciting. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get a free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
Hurry into the wrap-up-the-year sales event at your local Ram dealer for great deals on the trucks that give you all the power you need and all the luxury you could ask for. Now get 10% below MSRP for an average of $6,219 under MSRP on the purchase of a 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab. Not compatible with lease offers or with any other consumer incentive offers. $6,219 average based on 10% below average MSRP from all 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in dealer stock. Residency restrictions apply. Take retail delivery from dealer stock by 1/2/24.
Does managing your health care feel like a full-time job? Bounced from one doctor to the next? All the forms, the bills, the nada bills, the...
Press 4 to repeat these options.
Does healthcare have to be this way? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to make healthcare easier. And with integrated care and coverage, all you have to do is focus on your health. Learn more at kp.org. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
Kaiser Foundation Health Plan of the Mid-Atlantic States Incorporated, 2101 East Jefferson Street, Rockville, Maryland, 20852.
Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life. Especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And now every day this season, unlock 20% off your total when you get any small, medium, or large Frosty in the Wendy's app. So order something from your own wish list this year.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's with app offer and registration. Applies to menu items only. Taxes and fees excluded.
now the attention is on those who have not gotten schools at all.
The education minister, who was requested to reconsider the reopening date, maintained his stance despite being hauled by the speaker.
There has been a change in curriculum. And it's the implementation of that curriculum that is leading to improvements that we are seeing in a number of schools across the country.
Illegal mining kingpin Aisha Wan was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, plus a fine of 48,000 cedis. Many questioned why she was being sentenced on an old Minerals and Mining Act instead of the amended law. The Deputy Attorney General has answers.
My only pain is that apparently when we rearrested Aisha Wan, we still were prosecuting her under the old law.
I believe that the law was changed. And the minimum sentence was supposed to be 15 years.
Government backtracked on its decision to lay the LI that sought to impose restrictions on the import of staple foods.
The laying of the LI has been suspended so that the various stakeholder groups that still have outstanding issues can have those issues discussed with the ministry.
Government granted Barari DV Ghana Limited a 15-year lease to mine lithium in the central region.
We concluded an agreement with Atlantic Lithium for the exploitation of lithium in Ewoya in the central region of our country. And today, I am happy to report through you to the country on behalf of the President and his government.
But the minority in Parliament wanted the deal halted until it's brought before Parliament.
The agreement between the government of Ghana and Barari DV should be laid before Parliament without delay. But the minority would scrutinize the agreement. We will not allow this agreement to be rushed through.
Sponsors of the anti-LGBTQ plus bill were furious over the lack of action on their bill.
Our frustration is that this is not the first time this is happening. It's not the second time. This is the third time the Speaker has given such an instruction and it has been disregarded in his absence.
Well, Chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee in Parliament has this to say about the bill.
I want to draw the attention of the public that it is not the only bill that has been on our order paper.
Ayes 100
138. Noes 136.
And with that, Parliament approved the 2024 budget after 2 weeks of debates and deliberations in the House. And that's all for the wrap with me, Hannah Odami.
And that's how we part company here on Joy Newsroom with me, Pius Kojo-Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Pleasure serving you. Do have a lovely afternoon. Bye.
Good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk. My name is Aisha Ibrahim.
Let me tell you, this is not a small job at all.
What can you report from the Fana community?
We are still sounding the alarm for people who are hiding to know that help has come.
The board is supposed to be meeting this morning to deliberate on this nominee.
Yes, this problem has been recurring over time.
The people have invested the fruits of their excellence, and you want to throw it away because you think you can. No, it's not lawful for him to do it, period.
What's the basis that these financial assurances will be giving latest today?
If you follow what had transpired over the week, we got the information when the president addressed the May Day celebration indicating that China is going to come on board.